to thank the organizers of this event and the current leadership of the party that decided to set up this institute. I have listened to Professor Okwe. He gave the history of our tradition. And I've also listened to the minority leader in parliament, Afenyo. Beautiful statement. But I do not want us to delude ourselves. We must ask, how come a party with a philosophy and vision for humanity, that's our main strength, humanity, of our tradition, how come we have been reduced to the current situation, a situation we all regret or must regret? How come? This thing didn't happen just like that. If we take care to look at the electoral history from 2016, 2020, 2024, and if we are sincere with ourselves, we would know that the electorate of Ghana has matured. Nobody can deceive it. I assure you, I believe this electorate, the Ghanaian electorate, I'm not talking of party electorate, has not rejected the value systems of our tradition. Who doesn't want respect for human rights? Who wouldn't want an economy that is generating wealth to benefit the entire population inclusively? Who would not support equality of opportunity for all the children of Ghana? All the children, from kindergarten through junior high, senior high to the universities. Ghana would support this. Who would want to live under a dictatorship that would grab people and put in detention 5 years without trial? Ghana does not support that. 2016, the nation very liberally gave us power, huge majorities. But just 4 years later, let's be critical with ourselves. What was the outcome of the 2020 election? And then just another 4 years, what was the outcome of the 2024 election? I believe we must be stopped in our tracks to tell the truth to ourselves. I believe such self-critical analysis would be the first step to our regaining power. And it's possible for even 2028. Professor Okwe, in telling us, narrating the history, talked of how Professor Bawumia, in this time, was just one-man opposition to the very powerful, highly organized our first Prime Minister, first President Kwame Nkrumah's party in Parliament. Then they started off as Legislative Assembly. Just one man. It was his performance, one man against the heavy odds, that convinced the Northern People's Party under Chief Dombo to go and say, you, be our leader in this house. That's how Bawumia became the leader of the tradition. It wasn't just the knowledge Bawumia had. He had degrees, yes. PhD, first Ghanaian professor in Legon, in sociology, everything. But it wasn't just the knowledge. Nor was it just the, say, dislike of President Nkrumah or Prime Minister Nkrumah in those times. No. President Nkrumah was talking ideologies that were not founded in our culture. Bawumia, like Dankwa before him, Dankwa unfortunately never got a chance to be part of the Legislative Assembly or Parliament. But he taught the principles, very enduring, very eternal principles that I believe the whole world is moving to support these days. Bawumia continued with that. Common humanity, from which commitment to democratic rule, recognizing the sovereignty of the human individual came, and from which accountable governance. When the people give you their mandate by voting, they give the elected their power to go and govern. So if I give you my power to go and govern, then you must be accountable to me. That was what Dankwa and Bawumia taught. This was what pleased the then leadership of the North. Chief Dombo, Chief Yakubu Tali, Colonel, Jato Kaleo, Abai Fakabo. Fortunately, as I sit here, I worked with all these men. I was in my 20s when I joined them. The only one I didn't have the benefits, privilege to work with was J.B. Dankwa himself. Because I came back to Ghana as a young lawyer, 1965, January. The very next month, February 65, Dr. Dankwa died in prison, detention prison. I had prison detention in Sawam, apparently died on the floor. He hadn't been accused. He hadn't been found guilty. But the man persisted till the dying breath that it was humanity he would support. That's why he taught democracy. He's a martyr. He died a martyr. Bawumia continued in that. I worked with Bawumia because when NPP came to power in 1969, I was 30 years old. These days, young people, I see so many of you here. You complain, oh, the youth, this party doesn't give you. No, you must strike out, go in and contest. Don't expect anybody to give you anything on a silver platter. I was 30, I contested to come to Parliament. My constituency gave it to me, and when I came to Parliament, Professor Bawumia, the teacher that he was, perhaps he saw something in this little boy. He said, you, be the Deputy Foreign Minister of Ghana. At the age of 30, I'm addressing you, the youth, because we are talking about your future in this thing. 2 years, 3 months of what I believe was a very good government, because it inherited so many problems, and the government was trying to find solutions, sometimes bitter solutions, but they were genuine solutions. The soldiers under Agyapong came to remove us, and I was put in Agyapong prison. I stayed there for 1 year, 3 months, not being accused. I'm telling you, so the youth, when you complain these days, you must know it happened before, long before you were born. You must help yourselves. You are the majority now. I'm having to tell you, we lost power 79 as we learned from Professor Kwe. Why? Because along the way, we found that even as we all subscribe to democracy, we tended to be too individualistic. Egos were so big. Everybody would go and look into a sparrow and think that is perhaps superior or better than the next one. Yes. See, a party must be united. We must be reconciled. But if we go in with swollen egos, I'm this, I'm entitled, it's my turn. If you say that to yourself, the next man will also tell that to himself, or the next woman. So why do we get the unity? And without the unity, how can you call yourself a party? Democracy is one man, one vote. Most of you lawyers, doctors, engineers, professionals, these days we are all becoming Europeans. Monogamy. You and your wife will live in a fine bungalow, perhaps with just a child or two. The laborer outside there at your gate may have 2, 3 wives, perhaps 10 children. When it's time to go and vote, and you haven't won the support, the trust of the, who would win? It's common sense. Please, it's a very sad situation we are in now, and this is why I've chosen, I was invited to come and launch. I'm launching. The physical launch perhaps will be performed by another, but I'm using this occasion to tell the truth as I see it to all of us. This disease of high individualism, me-tooism, was what led to our losing 79 election. We must tell the truth to ourselves. We lost 79 when you consider the ballots. First round President Liman, and Liman was a good man. I had the opportunity to work with him in the 69-72 government. I was Deputy Foreign Minister and he was a foreign officer. I met him, good man, but he wasn't a practicing politician. He was a professional civil servant. He became, if you like, president by chance. 79, his party, PNP, was looking for a candidate. Their choice was late Mr. Igala, but Igala had been disqualified by a commission of inquiry. So he turned around and picked this young man, well-educated, Dr. Liman. Just like that, and PNP accepted Liman. So into the elections, nobody knew Liman much around the country. But because that party was so united, and PNP, united like a fist in a glove. And us, the PFP, UNC, we had split ourselves, believing that we were so bold the people of Ghana would see our witness and give it to us. We were not organized. Rather, we were tearing at each other, destroying each other, telling all sorts of things about each other, assuming Ghanaians were not listening or watching. So when we cast the vote that year, to our surprise, Liman came first, got 600 and something. Victor also, the PFP candidate, got 500 and something. UNC Power, they got 300. Suppose we hadn't split ourselves, 500 plus 300 and something, we would have won one church. But once Liman got the lead into the second round, again, the way we hate ourselves. Before we knew, most of our people in UNC had gone to support Liman, even against our candidate. That's how we lost it. I tell you, because we did that, we disappointed our country, Ghana, so much. That was how, may he rest in peace, Rawlings managed to succeed with the attempt and came to sit on Ghana for 19 long years, traumatizing the country. So sometimes when people are blaming, quietly I blame our tradition, our party, and not so much the tradition as the personalities in our party. We tend to be too self-centered. I told you, Bawumia was a very lone member of the then parliament in the 1950s. The Northern People's Party came to that house. Bawumia was there before NPP came. I think NPP came in 54. But Bawumia had been there from Legislative Council to Legislative Assembly. But Legislative was a lone member. against the very powerful machinery, highly organized machinery of CPP. But the way he performed and the principles he upheld, I believe those were the things that made the Northern People's Party entering Parliament and Assembly decide, look, you are alone, but be our leader. I hope you are getting the point. See, at this point, I want to ask you, what's a party for? What is the central purpose of party? Yeah? To win power. That's I would say the only purpose. If you are a party and you are not winning, once I said, people thought I was being too simplistic. I said, you might be better off being a messenger in a winning party than a general secretary that has no party. The purpose of party is to win power. We don't seem to want to learn. Please, we happen to be living in times. See, when I went to Parliament in '69, the population of Ghana was just 10 million people. The whole Ghana. 10 million. As we speak now, population has moved to almost 40 million. I'm sure it might be even more. Full of youngsters who may not know anything of traditions. We are talking democracy, we are talking rule of law, accountable governance, we are talking private sector. Because we believe in wealth creation, not because we are greedy. No, without wealth you may have the finest ideas, you can't implement the ideas. That's why we respect the private sector. We want to encourage the private sector to come into its own. If we have Ghanaian billionaires and they become billionaires legitimately, what's wrong with it? That's how the world moves. We believe in these things. But then, with all these ideas, but where is the organization? See, to organize in current times, you must strategize. Your opponents, I remember they built a headquarters and said they were opening a school. They come from a tradition of organization. The first president of Ghana told his followers, organization decides all. Organization. Drilling people like into soldiers, military. So they take organization very seriously. They may not have a good message, but if they are united and they have got propaganda, they've got propaganda. They'll make falsehood seem truth. You may have all the ideas, but you are not organized. Everybody is boss.
Everybody is a boss.
All the good things we've done in the service of our country, we are not even able to tell people, advocate and propagate and espouse. We did this and this, and because not to boast, but these days, because of the pressures of life, people don't have long attention span. So if you are not making your points, digital times, sharp for people to get their imagination, they think you don't have a message. A party like ours, we don't have, seriously, central think tank. A think tank should work so objectively that even hard truths would be told to itself. It might not be palatable, but if the truth, know it. Because it's only when you know it you can begin to solve the problem. We don't have, with all our intelligence and high qualifications, we seem to be afraid of critical analysis. We don't want to face the real truth. You see, the other thing with us, we may be brothers or friends, but if I get a feeling that you've taken me for a ride, you've cheated me, I tell you, Next time around, you call me, I may not come. This is another thing we must admit. We are democratic. We uphold common humanity. So, and democracy really doesn't go in for tribe or religion or gender. It's the individual. One man, one vote. And if we want power, we want to present a person who would be convincing to the generality of the electorate. Can this man we are presenting help solve problems for the community at large, so the benefit spreads across the board for all? We look at that this way. If we tell the truth to ourselves, we may see that the way we've been brushed by our opponents from way back, oh, you are a tribal party. Oh, these days we are including even religion. You do that, and it comes from our mouths, then I tell you, we are perpetuating. What we should be doing to get out of that. We are in a rut, a chasm, a deep God we've been put in there. If we do not change our minds and do not think critically, and then seek solutions through hard thinking, I'm telling you, touch wood, look, we wouldn't be the first party that went out of operation. I can't mention names, but a party that used to be like the only party around. Where is it now? Where is it now? Do we want to go that way? Then please, let's be self-critical. Let's be self-critical. And when we face the hard facts and we are strategizing, taking into account the positives and negatives, knowing ourselves, and then knowing our opponents, and then knowing the terrain, the people, the general people of Ghana, not taking them for granted, because as I said, the electoral history should show an electorate that can change this vote within 4 years, like we experienced from 2016 to 2020, and then from 2020 to 2020, knows what it's about. Most of the electorate now, they are on campuses, university campuses. Places that used to be our readouts, our citadels, Legon, and how did we fare in Legon last election? Even with our own children there. Please, so we have serious homework. The ancient wise people, they said, make haste slowly. Make haste slowly. Don't rush, don't stampede, thinking that is the way to find solutions. No, we are dealing with